He said, okay. Now the way we usually breathe is through the chest, which is shallow. Now consciously, we will try to focus and do some belly breathing. So when you breathe in, the stomach muscle should expand. But the habit is, that's how it goes. So today you're going to focus and try to breathe through your belly. Okay? Like, hold for a second, and when you breathe out, your stomach muscles should contract. We'll try to do this for a few seconds. Is that okay? Sit straight. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable that way. And take a deep breath. Breathe deeply and slowly. As you breathe in, observe the muscles of your stomach expand. As you breathe out, observe the muscles of your stomach contract. Breathe slowly and deeply. Let go of any tension in any part of your body and relax yourself. Even if your mind goes elsewhere, acknowledge the thought, ignore it, and gently bring your attention back to your breathing. Breathe slowly and deeply. Gently make this thought, I am relaxed, I am focused, I am present. I am relaxed, I am focused, I am present. Continue to breathe slowly and deeply. Gently rub your palms and wipe your eyes. Gently open your eyes. How do you feel now? Was it easy? This is one of the simple techniques that you can take from here, which you can do when you go to your respective workplaces. Is it possible to start every meeting with 90 seconds deep breathing? Possible? Or are we busy that we don't have those 90 seconds? Possible? And at the end of the meeting, you can also spend just 2 minutes in reflecting what is it that you discussed. 90 seconds in the beginning and 120 seconds towards the end of the meeting. Possible? And see the difference it makes. Because thinking, breathing, and aging are very closely related with each other. What are the 3 things? Thinking, breathing, and aging. If you think fast, you breathe fast. You breathe fast, you age fast. So when you consciously slow down your breathing, you also consciously slow down your thinking. That's why, have you observed when you're anxious, what would your elders or friends say? Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. It's okay. That's the relationship. That is why controlling our breath is called pranayama. Ayama means to control. Prana means life itself. So pranayama means the way you are going to control not only your life but also your aging process. Good. Lights on the stage. Lights on the stage. Can they be switched on? You able to hear? Oh, you are able to hear me. No, no. Yeah. Good. Thank you. Two things we are not taught as a part of our post-independence education. Can you guess what those are? And those are the two things we are asked to use properly. But nobody teaches us about those two. Can you guess what those are? Money and mind. Money they teach. We have lots of degrees. One is mind, the other one is brain. So we're going to learn about mind today and then few more insights about brain tomorrow. So let's first start defining what overthinking is. You agree with that? Yes? I'll share the deck, so please don't click any photos. If you want, you can make a note. We'll give you all the material. Okay? And all of you have a notebook and a pen? Fantastic. Because I'm also a memory coach, so don't trust your memory. It's not so great. So it's better you take notes. And overthinking means fast thoughts without gap, correct? Now, reducing number of thoughts reduces overthinking. Agreed? Reducing the speed of thoughts also reduces overthinking. The reason is speed and number of thoughts are inextricably related. You can't separate one from the other. You increase one, the other automatically increases. You decrease one, the other automatically decreases. That is why if you want to reduce overthinking, which is reduce the number of thoughts, you reduce the speed of your thoughts because both are related through this principle. And how do you reduce the speed of your thoughts? By reducing the speed of your breathing. So when you start any activity with deep breathing, and when your thoughts are running amok, it's useful for you to start focusing even temporarily on your breathing. Because when you reduce the speed of your breathing, the speed of your thoughts reduces, and that reduces the number of your thoughts. How many breaths do you think a tortoise takes, which is one of the longest living terrestrial animals? Can you guess per minute? Tortoise. How many breaths does it take? 2 breaths per minute. 2 breaths. That's it. So the slower you are breathing, the more graceful you are aging. Agreed? Agreed? So that is why the more you pay attention to your breathing, because your mind is already engaged in doing something, it will not do the other thing, which is overthinking. And when you stimulate, what is stimulation we will see in detail tomorrow. But in general, you understand stimulation. When you stimulate your mind, it increases overthinking. When you relax, it reduces overthinking. That is why you are encouraged to consciously relax every single day a few times. This is not relaxation. We'll see that tomorrow, why it is not relaxation. Another very important principle of overthinking is when you engage a thought, you empower it. When you empower a thought, it gives rise to more thoughts. It's like that little cat comes to you, you give it a couple of biscuits or some milk. Where does it come again? It'll stay there. Same thing is about a thought. It comes like just a visitor. But then we think that that thought which came as a visitor is a family member. No, it's not. It's just a visitor. And when you engage a thought, you empower it. That's why whenever you get any waste or negative thought, you start engaging it. Have you observed? You don't ignore it. Because when you engage it, what happens? You are adding fuel to the fire instead of ignoring it. Because when you ignore it, you make the thought powerless. When a thought comes, especially a waste or negative thought, you start thinking that this is true. It's not. You start thinking it is true because that thought came in your mind. That is why you start automatically thinking it is true. And once you think that it is, once you add this power of truth to your thought, it becomes sticky. And then it gives rise to more thoughts. Instead, if you say, this is just a thought, this is not true. Please write down that principle. This is just a thought, this is not true. So as soon as you take away the power of truth from that thought, it becomes powerless. Last year, yeah. It is just a thought. It is not true. So you need to make this thought if you want to control a waste thought. I was doing this session last year as a part of a retreat. And one of the ladies, she was HR head for some company. She liked this sentence. She made a note that this is just a thought, not true. And then it was a 3-day retreat like here. Next day she came in and she was literally in tears. I said, what happened? She said, for last 15 days, a thought has been bothering me and not allowing me even to sleep. And tonight I applied this principle. This is just a thought. This is not true. For the first time in 15 days, I was able to sleep peacefully. Because automatically we assume that a thought is true just because it came in our mind. When you take away the power of the truth, it becomes powerless and it becomes easy for you to ignore it. And once you ignore it, it becomes powerless. It's like me coming to you for having a conversation. You will continue to look at your mobile. For how long will I stay there? Or if you come to me and I'll continue to look at my mobile and I will not even acknowledge your presence, will you continue talking, speaking? No, you will turn away. Exactly the same thing with our thoughts. We'll go through the deck. You will get few more thoughts about it, and then we'll discuss towards the end. Is that okay? So the more you engage a thought without challenging its veracity, the more powerful it becomes, especially a waste or negative thought. And how to counter this, we will see. Yes. I'll give you an example. You will not be able to, Bala, this is a very big crowd. I don't think you have prepared enough. This is just a thought, not true. And then I move on to the next one, next activity. Because what happens is when I stay with that thought, I will not be able to focus on what I am doing because it keeps bothering. And those of you who understand Hindi, most of you understand Hindi? So one more technique to do that is what I do with my thoughts. आप कतार में हैं, प्रतीक्षा कीजिए. You acknowledge and ignore. You say you're in the queue, I'll come to you. Suddenly now thought comes, what are they going to serve for dinner? Don't worry about it. There's good dinner getting prepared. But as soon as a thought comes, instead of engaging it, you say, आप कतार में हैं, प्रतीक्षा कीजिए, because your turn will come after another 3 hours. Okay? Let's do this simple exercise. Sit back, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Relax yourself. Visualize yourself standing on the platform of a railway station. Trains come, trains leave. There's a train that comes, it stops, some people get out, some people get in, and then the train leaves. You're just standing there on the platform. Don't analyze, don't judge, just watch, just observe. Another train comes, some people get down, some people get in, the train moves. Next train comes, stops, some people get down, some people get in, and the train moves. Now replace the train with your thoughts. As soon as you get a thought, acknowledge it and simply say, what is my next thought? Don't analyze, don't judge. Just observe what thoughts are popping up in your mind and simply ask, what is my next thought? Just observe, no analysis, no judgment. Just ask this simple question, what is my next thought? Repeat the process. What is my next thought? Gently rub your palms and wipe your eyes. How many of you felt that the gap between one to the next thought started increasing as you started asking, what is my next thought? Yes? As you keep asking, what is my next thought? The reason thoughts start reducing is when you observe something without analyzing. When you just observe without analyzing, the speed of thoughts reduces. Yes, it is also a thought because we can never, as long as we are alive, we will continue to think. We cannot empty the mind. So when you observe something, just the facts, when there is no judgment, when there is no analysis, then you will not get more thoughts. Your neighbor bought a Mercedes Benz and parked in front of his house. Your neighbor bought a Mercedes Benz. That's a thought. That's a fact. So you're thinking only about the facts. There is no more thought. As long as you keep repeating the fact, only that thought repeats. He bought a Mercedes Benz and parked in front of the home. That's it. Life is very unfair. This fellow is not fully educated. I know that. I don't know where they get this money from. This society is like this only. I work so hard. And how I should also learn. I'm not able to afford even a new car. I'm still running my same 10-year-old Santro. Now, what is this? Where did your first thought start from? You started analyzing, judging, and that is when one thought led to the other. And this self-pity is a very powerful thing. It makes you weak, and at the same time, it makes you feel good. Bechara. And that is what keeps increasing. So when you just observe something in a detached manner, what we call as Sakshi Drashta. Drashta means to see. Sakshi means detached. As a witness, you're not participating, you're not analyzing. Then the speed of your thoughts reduces. Now, can I get a volunteer, please? I need a volunteer. Come. Come. Get your notebook. Yeah. Leave your slippers there. That's when you can stand here. So, open your book and then start reading. Done. Yeah, start reading.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, like what I wrote is some,
Reading. Continue to read.
some thoughts are good. Like even if it is about
Keep reading. You stand here. Read.
even if it is about a problem,
Leave the book. Read.
you think about it,
Read.
you find.
Read. No, don't. I'll tell you.
Okay.
Now are you able to read?
No.
Now are you able to read?
Yes.
Now what changed? It's her own notebook. Her own notebook. Her own writing. When it was here, she was able to read. When it is here, she was not able to read. What changed? What changed? Distance. Right? So this holding it at the appropriate distance is detachment. Holding it close to you is attachment. Running away from it is dissociation. That is why in our culture we are taught detachment, not attachment, not dissociation. That is why this is also called as clarity of distance. Thank you. What's your name?
Haripriya.
Haripriya. Give her a big hand, please. So you must have learned that when you are attached to something, your decision-making power gets impacted and you experience a lot of sorrow. Why? Because when you are attached, you are not away from it. You're not providing that clarity of distance. As a result, you're not able to see the facts. When you can't see the facts, you won't be able to take the appropriate decision either. It's your own problem. It's your baby. You have to deal with it. But create that distance, detach from it. How do we do it? Now, there's a very simple metaphor. There's this couple on a weekend like this, they go to a dance floor, they start dancing, and the fellow dancers, they keep stepping over the toes of this couple. So the guy gets irritated. He says, just because my wife is beautiful doesn't mean that you will keep coming closer to us. Why don't you enjoy what you are doing and allow us to enjoy what we are doing? But this continues. So he gets irritated. He says, honey, let's just get out of the dance floor. So they move out of the dance floor, they go to the balcony. And when they go to the balcony, they see an entirely different picture. On that day, because there were more people than usual, as they were moving into the VIP enclosure, the security there were pushing the dancers inside. And as they were pushing them, they were stepping over each other's toes. Where was this visible from? Where was this visible from? From the dance floor or the balcony? From the balcony. So when they moved to the balcony, what happened? When they moved to the balcony, what happened? When they moved to the balcony, their vision expanded. Correct? And to go to the balcony, what is the first thing they had to do? What is the first thing they had to do? Come out of dance floor. Even before that, detach. Even before that, what did they have to do? Make a decision. Yes, action. What is the first action they did? Action, action. They had to stop dancing. All our life, we make decisions while busy dancing on the dance floor, seldom stopping the dance. And seldom do we move even to the balcony. Yes or no? When a situation comes, we are so busy on the dance floor that we don't stop dancing and we start blaming everybody else. And after some time, when we relax, I should have thought about that. Because then, when you are relaxed, you move to the balcony, not on the dance floor. So ask yourself, whenever you have to make an important decision, where are you? On the dance floor or on the balcony? And overthinking happens only on the dance floor. Overthinking happens only on the dance floor. Because when you go to the balcony, you become aware of the facts in the situation. When you're on the dance floor, you are so busy in the story you are telling yourself about those facts that you lose sight of the facts. So when you move to the balcony, you become aware of the story you are telling yourself. He bought a Benz car. That's a fact. The rest is the story I am telling myself based on that fact. You have a friend with whom every day you go for lunch. On that day, there was another newcomer who joined, and then he just passed your chair, your desk, and then you saw him walking with that newcomer. Lunchtime. Now, the fact is, he did not stop at your desk so that you both can go for lunch. That's the fact. That's it. But then what is the story? One new person and last 3 years forgotten. Yeah, this world is like this. What to do? There is no loyalty. There is no love. What is this? And then after a few minutes, your friend goes, drops that newcomer there in the cafeteria, comes back and says, let's go for lunch. So what was the fact and what is the story? You see that? And all our overthinking is because of the story we tell ourselves. Who is the writer, director, hero, heroine, villain of this story? So do you want your mind to be like a jungle with weeds? Anyone? For a change? Anyone wants your mind to be like this? And I'm sure that's the reason why you all traveled all the way here. Nobody wants this. Everybody wants this. But here's the important insight. You don't have to do anything for the weeds to grow. They grow on their own. Has anybody gone there, planted a weed, watered it and said, grow? No, they grow on their own. But garden needs maintenance. So ask yourself, if you want a garden in your mind, how much time are you spending on a daily basis in tending to that garden? And that's what in simple terms we call it as meditation. Taking few minutes to take care of your mind's garden is meditation. One very simple definition. Because garden needs maintenance. And what thought we create on a daily basis, they result in a weed or a garden. Every moment, either you are watering a garden or you are watering a weed. So what you talk with yourself, that is what we call as self-talk. And this is what we are not taught at all. And this is something that continues in our mind continuously. Even now, when I'm speaking for the last few minutes, you must be saying, this is interesting. I never thought about it. Yes or no? That's self-talk. So this continuous stream of thoughts that story that I continue to tell myself is the self-talk. My emotions, my mood, my decisions are all dependent on the self-talk that I am doing with myself, unfortunately, which I'm not even aware of. So a lot of our sorrow is self-generated. You'll get enough time to reflect on this statement. I'll be around until tomorrow evening. So if anyone has any questions after reflection, we can meet. A lot of our sorrow is self-generated. It is based on the stories we are telling ourselves, not about the facts, but about the stories. So some simple examples. Oh my God, it's the same project again. Last time I goofed up. I'm sure I'll do it again. You're all familiar with this? Now, if I'm creating this thought, if I am the creator, I also have the power to change it. I can change it to this. Just because I failed last time does not mean I will fail again. Let me try once again. Can I make this thought or not? If this is a default thought, with a little bit of effort, I can change this thought to this thought. Yes or no? Now see the fascinating stuff. When I make this negative thought, my energy levels increase or decrease. My motivation levels increase or decrease. My chances of success increase or decrease. Now, without even starting the task, wow, you are so powerful. You already reduce the chances of your success with just the kind of self-talk you are having with yourself. Now, if I make this thought, my energy increases or decreases? Motivation increases or decreases? And when my motivation and energy increase, my effort increases or decreases? You haven't even started the task yet. You see what kind of thoughts you're creating. So when I transform my negative self-talk to positive self-talk, that starts becoming more energizing. It is better for me to avoid facing many of life's difficulties than to risk failing or being rejected. If I fail or get rejected, I will still accept myself and choose to see myself the way God does. You can choose your positive replacement. I just wrote an example. Someone or something is making me feel depressed, utterly miserable. Classic case. If only my mother-in-law changes. If only my boss transforms. If only my kid listens to me. So good. Someone or something is always making me feel depressed. No one can make me feel anything. My emotions are the result of my choices. You can write this down. No one on the face of this earth, no one on the face of this earth can make me feel inferior without my permission. No one on the face of this earth can make me feel inferior without my permission. No one on the face of this earth can make me feel inferior or sad without my permission. In my previous organization, I used to manage a large team. So I would tell my team members, absolutely fine. In front of the whole hall, you can call me an idiot. Show me the data. You can call me idiot, but show me the data. If you can't show me the data, then you can have your opinion, and I can have my opinion of ignoring your opinion. Because unless I agree to what that other person is saying, I will not feel sad, bad, mad. Until then, it is just an opinion. After I added my approval, it became true. And that which becomes true is sticky. So when I withhold my approval to your negative comment about me, you can never make me feel sad. It's like me removing the batteries from your remote. You keep pressing it, but nothing changes here. And positive self-talk empowers and relaxes us by giving more clarity. Have you observed this? And this? Positive thoughts. That is why positive self-talk always relaxes you. And negative self-talk always makes you feel exhausted. And I'm doing it for myself. Whether it is about my health, whether it is about my career, about my relationships, constantly what kind of thoughts am I having with myself? Yeah. Yeah. Is that excitement positive or negative? It makes you happy or not? Makes you happy, correct? Once you succeed. So that's good. Anything that is makes you happy is good. But if it is again leading to hubris or arrogance, then that you need to watch out for. There's enough water, but there's very little coming out. So we blame the water. It's not the water, it's the pipe that connects the tap and the water source. If I can untangle these, then a lot can flow. There's enough water out there. So when you get a negative thought, how do we transform it? How do we change it? Here is a very simple framework. It's called 5D model. When you get a negative thought, you first become aware of it. First you detect it. Then you stop it. You don't continue it. You don't engage it. Remember the principle. You engage a thought, you empower it. When you empower it, it gives rise to more waste and negative thoughts. So you disrupt it, you stop it, and then you detach from it. This is just a thought. This is not true. Even if it comes in your own mind, you will say, this is just a thought. This is not my thought. Because as soon as you own it, as soon as you say mera, बुद्धि का फेरा हो जाता है. As soon as you say mera, okay, as soon as you say this is my thought, it becomes sticky because you are identifying it with your ego. So you simply say this is just a thought. So you detach and then you dispute and then you design. Let's take an example. You coughed a couple of times. And then 10 days ago, that was 10 days ago, you read somewhere that COVID has started in your town. 10 days, nothing happened. But you just coughed a couple of times. Now suddenly this thought, COVID aa gaya hoga. COVID must have returned. Now once you detect, if you don't stop it, if you engage it, from I must have got COVID to who will take care of my kids, who will pay the EMIs, and then you seeing yourself on ventilator, and from there, next. It all happens in less than 20 seconds because you engaged a thought. And when you engage a thought, you empower it. When you empower it, it gives rise to more thoughts. So as soon as you detect that waste thought that I must have got COVID, stop it. Don't allow it to create more waste thoughts or negative thoughts. And then you detach it. This is just a thought. This is not true. This is just a thought. This is not true. And then you dispute it. Bala, did you do RT-PCR? Did you get fever for the last 3 days? Did you lose your taste? Without doing all this, how can you say you got COVID? First, go get the test done. First, observe if the cough is going to persist or it's going to go away. Just have some water and start focusing on the next task. Enough. Now, this is positive self-talk. This is you're disputing, asking for facts. If you're going to make a presentation to an important client and you're experienced, you have gone through it, you have prepared, you have done mock sessions, and now you're going to the client, you're about to go to the client. When this waste thought comes, will I be able to do it? Will the customer sign up? Will they listen? Stop. You dispute. Bala, what makes you think that you won't be able to succeed? Because you have done this hundreds of times. You already prepared tens of times. You know every single letter on the deck. You can do it. So I am not allowing that waste or negative thought. I'm not engaging it. I'm not continuing it. I'm removing the power. And then the last is when I design. I can do this. I am healthy. I'll handle it. I already got vaccinated twice. So let me see. First, let me observe, get the test done. And if it comes, because it's just the first time, I'll still be able to overcome it because I'm already vaccinated. So let's wait until my test results come. So you design those positive thoughts. You detect, disrupt, detach, dispute, and design. As soon as you detect, you need to disrupt it. You need to stop it. That's the most important principle. Because the minute you start engaging it, what happens? You start empowering it. And when you empower it, it only increases. That is why at Brahma Kumaris, we learn a very interesting principle. It's called Kyo Ki Q. Kyo means why. Q is QUE. As soon as I start with one why, that one why gives rise to more whys. And none of those whys have any answers. It all starts with why me. And from there, that Kyo Ki Q, it continues to grow. And those of you who know Ramayana, it is considered like the tale of Hanuman or Angad. It keeps on growing. It will not stop. So the best way to stop that Kyo Ki Q is you disrupt it. And then you detach it, because once you detach, you remove the power from the thought, because you're not saying that it is true. You're saying this is just a thought. Now, this process of 5Ds, you need to be relentless. Again, a thought comes, again you stop. Again it comes, again you stop. When you keep repeating this exercise, the gap between its visits keeps increasing. That means you will be more relaxed. A waste or negative thought is like a pop-up. You click it, it will occupy your whole screen. You ignore it, you can focus on the window on which you are working. So the choice is yours. Yes or no? That's what pop-ups do. They just pop up. They're not true. You're working on something and it just pops up. And then you click it. And once you click it, what happens? Now your whole screen is occupied with that. Ignore it, then you disempower it. You can move on with what you were doing. And emotional junk food leads to overthinking. Emotionally nutritious food helps reduce speed and number of thoughts. Very important. And we'll discuss this in tomorrow's session on digital wellness. How by consuming low quality, useless digital content in the first 1 hour itself. If Shivani Ben hasn't shared, she will share this point also, that in the morning, what kind of thought should you fill your mind with? Because emotional junk food, it increases overthinking. How many of you feel that for whatever reason, when you reduced or stopped watching reels on Insta, your overthinking, your anxiety, your emptiness has reduced? I rest my case. Present never causes overthinking. It's always either past or future. Have you observed that? Present never causes. Present is you're sitting here and you're listening to me. That's it. That's present. There is nothing to overthink about it. It's either past or future that creates overthinking. Whenever I have to do some boring report that I have to create as a part of my job, this thought starts. What kind of job is this? Why did I get stuck here? What kind of manager is this? Do I only have to get... Bala, stop. You're getting paid. You're not working for charity. You only have to do this. Sit down, finish it. Again, the waste thought comes. Again, I say, Bala, focus. Very simple. Bala, focus. And then automatically, the amount of time you waste gets reduced. Yeah. Very good question. Write down this equation. Thought plus desire to control is equal to worry. Thought plus desire to control is equal to worry. Thinking about your exam and planning for it will never cause worry. But the desire to pass, that's what starts your worry. Yes or no? When you let go of that desire to control and it remains as a thought, just focusing on the fact, that will never lead to overthinking. So analysis is never bad. But if you are trying to analyze with the desire to control, then that becomes worry. So desire to control increases the speed and number of thoughts. I am presenting report to my CEO. Will he like it or not like it? Do you control? You're presenting your business proposal to the client. Do you control the client's response? Now I have prepared for this session. आप सुनेंगे या सोएंगे मेरे हाथ में है. Will you listen or sleep? Will you write down or not? I have no control. But if I keep thinking about your reaction, I'll waste a lot of my energy. So this desire to control is so strong that this is the single most reason for almost all of our overthinking. Every time you are overthinking about something, you ask yourself, there is a desire to control. Either trying to control your own performance or trying to control someone else's reaction. When you focus on expressing yourself, there's no overthinking. But when you focus on impressing the other person, it immediately becomes overthinking. So when you let go of that desire to control, your overthinking reduces. This has to happen. I must get this. I have to pass. Desire is not wrong, but the desire to control and worrying about the result causes overthinking. And task consciousness leads to efficiency and effectiveness. Because the only control I have is preparing about this slide deck. That's it. Preparing for this presentation. Rest, I don't have any control. Will the mic work? Will the projector work? Will this slide changer work? Will there be enough spare batteries? I have absolutely no control. I can always plan for those, but I can't control. I can influence, but I can't control. I'm not saying you need to abrogate your responsibility. We should try our best to influence, but not control. There's a very big difference between the two. Because when you start focusing on influencing, you focus on the task. And that's the timeless wisdom. Karmanyevadhikarasya. You have control only on your effort, your karma, not on the result. I'm not saying we should not think about the result. We should, because if there is no thinking, if there is no desire, then you won't even come here. Because there was a desire to learn. Yes or no? So you thought about it. So the thinking is never wrong, but worrying is. Because when you have the desire to control, that thinking degrades to worrying. Disappointment causes overthinking because disappointment is proportional to the square of my expectations. And what is the definition of expectation? The distance between reality and my version of reality is expectation. And all the problems in relationships arise because my reality is not aligned with, my version of reality is not aligned with the reality. I like white, my spouse likes black. The reality is she likes black. But I continue to expect 30 years, Bala. Not once, 30 years. Now, so where is that disappointment coming from? She's happy wearing black. She's happy wearing black. But I am expecting that she should wear white. I am imposing my thoughts on her. And that's what is giving me sorrow. So my disappointment, as I said, a lot of my sorrow is self-generated because when my expectations are aligned with reality, there is no disappointment. When my expectations are not aligned, when my version of reality is not aligned with reality, then there is disappointment. And repeating a positive and empowering thought reduces overthinking. And this is what we call as mantram. Manana trayate iti mantram. That means, trayate means that which protects. Mananat means that which when repeated. Iti means this. That's what is called as mantram. That's the meaning. That is why in our culture, at least in India here, if you ask your grandmother or grandfather or elderly parents, if you are scared, then they will say, you practice this mantra. If you're anxious, they'll say you practice this mantra. You just keep repeating this. If you feel that you are suffering from some illness, they'll say you practice this mantra. So that mantra means that which when repeated will make you strong, will protect you. Simple thing like before you start any task, I am capable. I am confident. I can do this. I am peaceful. I am powerful. All these are simple mantras that can be repeated. And when you repeat, that is what becomes your positive self-talk. And meditation and positive self-reflection, they calm your mind and reduce overthinking. Because positive thoughts are always slow. And you remember the definition. Relaxation means less thoughts, slow thoughts. So when you think positive, automatically you are reducing the speed of your thoughts. That means you are automatically relaxing. That's why nobody came to me in all these years saying, Bala, so many positive thoughts are coming into my mind. I'm not able to control. Please help. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. Because when you think positive, you relax. Because positive thoughts are always slow, and those thoughts that are slow are always less. Now, simple questions before we end the presentation. Whatever is causing overthinking to you, okay, this is just a thought. Remember that. Don't keep thinking it and then getting into the cycle of overthinking. I'm going to give you a bunch of questions. And these are the questions I ask myself whenever I see myself thinking more than I should. What are you trying to control? Okay, we'll just sit in silence for a couple of minutes. Let the song play. I'm just going to show you these questions. Just sit and reflect on these questions. काम क्रोध मद लोभ मोह वश आज है सब मोहताज योग लगा कर पाप मिटा ले स्वर्ग सजा ले तू आज काम क्रोध मद लोभ मोह वश आज है सब मोहताज योग लगा कर पाप मिटा ले स्वर्ग सजा ले तू आज योगी बनो ज्ञानी बनो योगी जीवन हो प्यारा है एक अविनाशी आत्मा सुन लो मेरी आवाज तू है एक अविनाशी आत्मा सुन लो मेरी आवाज
योगी बनो ज्ञानी बनो योगी जीवन है प्यारा चलना है चलना है घर वापस अब तो यही ज्ञान का सार योगी बनो ज्ञानी बनो योगी जीवन है प्यारा योगी जीवन है प्यारा योगी जीवन है प्यारा
So whatever is causing you overthinking, it's only because of it falls into one of these 5 buckets, yes or no? Anything as of now in your life, if it is causing you overthinking, it falls only into these 5 buckets. There's nothing else beyond that. Agreed? And the last 4 are manifestations of the first one. Good, I'll take a couple of questions and then we'll have a short break. Any questions? Yes, you were asking something. Did you get the answer? I'll use that.
I can start. Okay.
Yes, sister.
So I am in the process of transforming my habit of perfectionism to pragmatism. And in this, sometimes I fail, sometimes I succeed. But uh, but at present, I do hung up with fear of okay, if I go this way, I'll go too much in detail. So any help to progress on this and be more productive?
So what exactly is your question?
Help me from moving from perfectionism to pragmatism so that I be more productive.
You already made your choice, didn't you?
Yes.
And you already know why that perfectionism is leading to overthinking. And you already have the principles. But good that you asked the question, because one of the things I would encourage all of you, this is should be one key takeaway for you when you go back, is start setting aside some time to sit back and reflect. Consciously set your balcony time. Very simple. Possible? 10 minutes of balcony time? Now don't tell me, Bala, I live in Bombay, we are in ground floor, no balcony. You understand what I mean. So 10 minutes of balcony time every day. Because, and when you're on the balcony, always have a notebook and a pen, not your mobile. And when you go to the balcony, switch off your projector. That is 19-inch laptop. That is 6-foot screen. Both are real. But what is making 19 inches into 6 feet? And that's what we see. But its original size is only 19 inches. When I switch off the projector, it becomes a 19-inch situation, not a 6-foot situation. So go to the balcony, switch off the projector, sit on a blameless chair, and then reflect and see the magic happening. Okay? Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, anyone? One last question because we have Vidatri Ben already on the stage. And when she's on the stage, I have to get off. That's the signal. So the last question. No, please be seated.
जब कोई फैमिली मेंबर मेरे बारे में कोई ओपिनियन क्रिएट करता है तो उससे मुझे तकलीफ होती है क्योंकि आई एम नॉट एक्चुअली व्हाट दे आर थिंकिंग अबाउट मी सो दैट जजमेंट एक्चुअली गिव्स मी लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम सो आई ट्राई टू क्लैरिफाई व्हाट आई एम एक्चुअली सो वो क्लैरिफिकेशन जब तक आंतरिक संतुष्टि नहीं देता तब तक मैं करती रहती हूँ
Yes.
तो वो मुझे बहुत प्रॉब्लम देता है.
Now you see again the first question. Whatever they have said about you, it is their opinion and you know it is not true. And you can't control them. You can't change their opinion. So you simply say that's your opinion and move on. And when the thought comes, keep saying that is their opinion. And when you are speaking with yourself, speak with your first name, the way I used my name. What's your name?
पायल.
Payal. So you say, Payal ये उनका opinion है. ये सच नहीं है. Again the thought comes again, Payal ये उनका opinion है. सच नहीं है. Keep doing it. Because that's the only thing which is in your control. The minute you switch and you want to convince them, you lose the game. Because that is what people want from us. वो आके रिमोट दबा के चले जाते हैं क्योंकि हमारा नाचना उनको पसंद आता है. सबको देते हैं ना. हम इतने दिलदार हैं, अपने रिमोट सभी को देके रखे हैं. काम वाली को भी दिया, बाजू वाले को भी दिया, बॉस को भी दिया, टीम मेंबर को भी दिया, स्पाउस को भी दिया. आप दबाव में नाचेंगे. एंड दे नो, दे जस्ट प्रेस एंड गो. पूरा दिन गया, एक ही बार दबाया. So the idea is remove the batteries from the remote. Because you can't control them pressing it. They will continue to press, but there won't be any change in the channel. After some time, they will stop. Thank you. Om Shanti.